So in this video, we're looking at a single leg kettlebell pass. This is an absolutely amazing movement for anyone that is looking to build up strength and stability in their feet and ankles. It's often an area we don't think about because we are wearing shoes a lot throughout the day, and they give us an element of stability in a lot of the movements that we do. What we find then is when we progress people to single leg movements is that they lack the foot strength and stability to actually stay balanced. If we think of movements like a single leg RDL, a pistol squat or something like that, people often get into that position and they don't have the adequate intrinsic strength in a lot of the musculature of their feet to actually stay stable or potentially catch themselves when they're off balance. We might find that they're just not able to root themselves down to the floor, and those muscles of the feet don't know what they're doing in space because they've potentially never used them before. So what we're going to do for this movement is we're going to make sure of a few things before we get started. I'd certainly say to start off with a lighter weight to just get a feel for it at first and then progress through and go for heavier weights in time. From the floor up, we want to make sure that we first get a good splay and spread of our toes. You can kind of see from here that instead of like kind of just lazily setting up into it and having a very narrow foot, I want to push down my big toe, spread out my toes as much as possible so they cover as much surface area as possible. One thing that's going to happen throughout the movement is you're going to find that the ankle joint itself may tilt and turn a little bit. That's not necessarily a bad thing because what we're going to learn over time here is how do I actually stabilize and balance through that foot musculature because I'm passing it from side to side and putting different stresses and strain from on my foot, my toes, even up into my ankle and shins. What you're going to find with this is really going to burn and sort of challenge all of those small bits of musculature that you've probably never used before. So you're going to feel all the way up through into the ankle and even potentially into the shin, okay? From there then, as I said, set that position. You can even set the foot down to the side just to sort of get your balance at first. Splay the toes, then keep a slight bend in the knee. Slowly take that left foot here off the ground. Now, as I pass, I want to pass slowly. It's not necessarily about the amount of passes we do. I've likely prescribed this for a duration as opposed to a certain amount of sets and reps. Because what this is going to give you an opportunity to do is get your bearings, keep that level of kind of tension in the foot and bear down and grip as much as possible. I like to think of it as I have a monkey's foot that's gripping onto a branch and I'm really trying to tense up all of that musculature as much as possible. It then means when I go to pass the kettlebell, I have an opportunity to sort of tense, move, turn. I'll find that if I do go out of balance, I have an opportunity to actually kind of correct. And as I've said, you might find the ankle sort of moves a little bit. And that's a good thing because you're now learning to sort of balance, stabilize, and as I said, you might fall over once or twice, but making sure, obviously, as we start off, that we started off with a light weight, okay? So certainly give that a go. It's an awesome movement, as I said, for building that sort of level of strength and balance in the feet and has awesome crossover into a lot of the movements that we'll see ourselves do in the gym a lot. Or if you think of anything like running, any sort of explosive movements, if we have more strength and stability in the musculature of the feet and ankle, that's obviously going to help us going into those movements, knowing that we have adequately prepared toes, feet and ankles for those movements, okay? Any questions, of course, let me know in the comment section. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the page if you want to see more videos like this in the future. But for the moment, thanks very much and I'll see you soon.